This Indiana vacation spot has more than 15 miles of incredible shoreline that's filled with sand dunes, beaches, forests, and so much more. And it's just a short drive from Chicago.
'Cause these are main streets, something about a hometown speaks to me. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. The heart and soul of communities right here on these main streets.
The Indiana Dunes, which formed over 10,000 years ago from glaciers, and it was first home to the Miami and Potawatomi people. This area prospered because of its location not only to Lake Michigan, but to the rivers, which was perfect for the fur trade, and later on the steel industry. This area in northern Indiana stretches along Lake Michigan from Gary all the way to Michigan City. Water was not the only mode of transportation for commerce. The railroads brought goods and people. There are main streets all over the Indiana Dunes in communities like Burns Harbor and Porter, and the beautiful Main Street here in Chesterton, also known as Calumet Road. We're in the park in downtown Chesterton, and that is the second train that we have heard and seen in just a couple of minutes. And when you ask a local if that train keeps them up at night, they look at you and say, "What train?" What an incredible operation you have here.
Ah, thank you.
Where are we standing and what did it used to be?
This used to be a freight station, New York Central Freight Station, and it was built in 1914. Busy place.
It's in great shape, isn't it?
Well, it is now.
Was it in great shape when you two showed up?
No.
No. How did this happen?
We are trying to get a platform built for rail fans. It to be a world-class operation.
Did you share a vision, the two of you?
No, I don't think so.
Well-
I mean, after I bought it, Dan goes, "Well, what are we doing with this place?" You know?
Well, Richard had been collecting all this railroad memorabilia for years.
Yeah.
So it was a great place to get to put it.
Well, kind of the perfect place.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, here we go.
Rock and roll.
That's cool. Look at this.
You can play all day, you know? And I do. This is our oldest car. It's 100 years old.
Oh my God.
This is what they look like when you start.
How do you start?
One room in here,
Two in the boxcar.
2 in the boxcar, and then inside the main building we have 2 rooms, one on the first floor and one on the second floor.
It's sizable. It's like an
Yeah.
apartment.
This is a little kiddie loft.
Who's your guest? Who shows up here?
More, as the years go on, it's more and more rail fans, because once the rail fans find out about this for rail watching, this is a really good spot for them.
How many trains go through, like, right outside your door a day?
We average 83 trains a day.
No, did you hear what he said?
You know,
He said 83 trains a day.
83 trains a day, and
Yeah.
people ask me, well, what time do they stop? I said, well, we put the stop sign out about 9:30, right? You know,
It's coming.
Yeah. And then the next one, I said, well, they slow down. Don't they going through town? I go, no, they don't do bad either, right?
No.
Right.
Is there a division of labor here in this relationship
Right.
when it comes to
She
the
does
business?
99%, I do 1.
He's got
Just
that
ask
right.
her. She'll tell you, right?
Do you ever get the feeling that someone is watching every move you make? Huh? Oh, yeah. The Chesterton Gnomes. They're all over town. You never know where you're going to see them. Quit following me.
Red Cup's been in business for 17 years. It's the hub of Chesterton.
Yeah.
It's where everyone comes.
How long have you been owning it?
For 7.5 years.
So, did you work here before?
I did. I worked here for about a year before and loved what I was doing. I'd never been in food service before, but,
Yeah.
well, except for, feeding my kids and my family.
Which is food service.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thankless, really.
This is more thankful.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Being a part of the community and providing great food and a wonderful atmosphere for people to come and to celebrate everyone's joys. And if you do what you love, you succeed. Hello.
Why do people stop in the cafe?
Our baked goods are amazing. I do all the baking, and we
You
have
do?
tons of baked goods, and we have amazing coffee. And The service is impeccable in our sandwiches. Our food is all organic as much as we can.
So I walked in, the first thing I saw, can I tell you? New potato salad.
New potato salad.
And does that mean it's a new potato salad recipe, or it's?
No, it's just that we have it. We wanted people to see it, so
Yeah.
the girls were
I
like,
saw
"No,
it."
look it, we made it, we did it."
Can we have a taste?
Of course.
Thank you so much. Shut up. Do you love calling this your hometown?
Oh yes.
You do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
All you need is love. And potato salad. That's what I always say. Love the potato salad. This is a great story. It's Chesterton Brewery. This is Vern Brown. How are you, sir?
It's a pleasure.
Good to see you.
Very well, thank you.
So this is a brewery that opened up,
5 months before COVID hit,
sorry,
and we had a lot of vets work here, and everybody just put their best foot forward, and here we are today.
so your commitment to vets, can we talk about that?
Absolutely.
How did that start?
I was in the Marine Corps, 90 to 94. Very proud of that, but I came back. I'm a fully functioning individual, but there's a lot of folks that come back, they're not that fortunate. And so I needed a conduit, a way to give back. We don't help directly. We help get money to the agencies that can help. To date, we're like 33,000.
How great is that?
Yeah, pretty proud of that. as
You
well.
should be. Yeah. Were you in the brewery business before?
I was not.
weren't.
A home brewer.
Okay. How many beers are coming out of this brewery today?
We currently have 21 on tap. We have a special thing here at the brewery. All our beers come out with generic names. And then when we find somebody to honor that beer with, say Staff Sergeant Thorstad died in the Beirut bombings in 1983. He's from Chesterton. So we made the Thorstad beer. It was just called the Amber Ale up until we honored him with it. And then every time we do a dedication, you can pretty much guarantee there's a lot of waterworks in this brewery.
So Vern, what do we have here?
That's our first responder wall. We have a local heroes campaign. So not only do we support our veterans, but we support our local heroes as well.
What are these?
People get these plaques and we put them on the chair for them, and they're honoring a loved one. And they don't have to be deceased.
And that's the story of all these plaques, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Now the dog tags obviously aren't to scale,
Right.
but that's what we write our beer on. But it's just to raise awareness what the Soldier's Cross is all about.
Yeah. Thanks first for your service.
Oh, thank
and
you.
thanks so much for taking the time with us. These trees inside the Indiana Dunes National Park hold a special surprise for visitors who are not familiar with the area. Can you guess what's on the other side of these trees? Wisconsin's picture-perfect historic downtown Greendale isn't just a great backdrop for photos. It's the perfect place to experience history, get a treat for your furry friend or three, grab some ice cream or a different kind of treat, or slow down and relax. Ask anyone who's made memories here. We'll all tell you the same thing. You just gotta see Greendale.
Being diagnosed with breast cancer changes everything, and it happens every single day. Very quickly, patients and caregivers are surrounded by medical care, yet emotionally can feel stranded and alone. ABCD trains breast cancer survivors who offer perspective and compassion that can only come from someone who has found their way back. From diagnosis through treatment and beyond, all services are free and virtual.
Remember when the American dream was being able to say, I made that, I built that? Wouldn't it be great if your kids and grandkids chose a career that provides that kind of pride with good pay, but without a ton of student loan debt? A four-year degree isn't the only path to success. We need talented people to make and build. Tell the young people you love that skilled work isn't a thing of the past. It's a bright future. What's on the other side of those trees? Another park. No, I swear. The Indiana Dunes State Park, which is surrounded in the middle of the national park. It was established in 1925 with over 2,000 acres of land. There are beautiful trails to hike, and there are places to camp and areas to swim, and 3 miles of its own sand dunes. In 1966, the Congress called this area the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore. It wasn't until 2019 that it was designated Indiana Dunes National Park. And when we got here, we thought it was the newest national park right here in Indiana, but we found out that 3 weeks ago, West Virginia came out with a new national park. So it's the second newest national park. So this is your assignment?
Yes, I've actually.
Our national park?
Yes, Indiana Dunes National Park.
It's not a bad gig, is it?
No, it's a great job. I'm very fortunate.
And in the middle of this park, isn't there a state park as well?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
There's actually 2 Indiana Dunes here, which confuses visitors to no end. So there's the National Park and the State Park, both outstanding areas. State Park was actually preserved earlier in the 1920s.
People need to come and experience what this is.
Absolutely, it's incredible. People see this and say, I can't believe I'm in Indiana or in the Midwest for that matter.
Isn't it great?
It is, it's
Yeah.
amazing, yeah.
How did all this happen?
It's the sand on both east and west shoreline of the lake gets moved by currents to the southern tip where we are here. So this is the hard part about being a park ranger at a dune park.
Getting up?
Yep, so yeah, the dunes, they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for 2 incredibly important dune building plants. We've got them right here next to each other. This is called marram grass. Some people call it beach grass.
Okay, because
But-
it grows in sand.
Exactly, and not
Yeah.
only does it grow in sand, but it can survive in moving sand. The other plant that also survives in moving sand is this is cottonwood tree.
Cottonwood.
Yep.
Camera was not rolling when you started talking about orchids.
Oh yeah.
What? Come on.
Kind of one of the fun facts that people don't realize is that Indiana Dunes has more species of orchid than the state of Hawaii. You can find them at our Pinhook Bog, along other wetland areas as well.
You know, people are sitting home going, shut up.
I know. We also have a huge number of birds. We have over 350 bird species that have been spotted in this park.
And because of this park and because of the lake and the natural resources, this tourism is a huge industry as well.
Well, absolutely. We had over 2.3 million visitors come to the national park last year.
I'm a proponent of leaving the natural resources where they belong. So, there you go. Did you ever go to camp when you were a kid? So, we got to go to day camp, never overnight camp. This is a day and an overnight camp. It's the Dunes Learning Center, and this is David Wright.
You know, we're tucked right here in the middle of the Indiana Dunes National Park.
Where do these kids come from?
Most of them are from urban and suburban schools here in Northwest Indiana.
Good.
But we have schools that come in from Illinois and Southern and Central Indiana, maybe even some kids from Michigan and Ohio.
How many kids come through here?
5,000, and
5,000.
then 5,000 here, and then we have our outreach program as well, where we reach out to a lot of other kids.
5,000 kids a year.
Yeah, here on site.
That's pretty great.
Significant, right?
It really is.
And they get to visit different ecosystems in the dune. They come up over the dune and see that beautiful view of Lake Michigan. And you know, we have kids from all over, but a lot of kids that are local, you know, they've never seen the dunes or they've never even been to Lake Michigan before. Every year we have a different theme.
Our next activity is still art.
They have time to unplug. We don't allow them to have their phones or any of their electronic devices, so they actually have to talk to each other and socialize,
Go
which is
figure.
great. And they love it.
Kids need nature, nature needs kids. It creates what we think is a lasting impression on them.
And I would say the natural biodiversity and the social diversity as well that we have here is just amazing, and I think is really rich and special.
I met somebody at West Beach here in the park, and her name is Diana of the Dunes, and I really didn't meet her, but Joe wants to talk to her.
Diana of the Dunes.
And who was she?
Well, her real name was actually Alice Mabel Gray, and so she got this name, Diana of the Dunes, from actually just some newspaper reporters. But she was born in 1881 in Chicago, but in 1915, on Halloween, and when she left, all she had with her was a little jelly jar, blanket, and a fork and a knife. She hopped on a train in Chicago, and then she found just an abandoned shack on the beach. Just an old fisherman's shack.
Yeah.
And so she claimed it as her own.
Look at this. Like, who took these? How'd you get these?
Well, these were from some of the reporters that came and visited her.
There she's like, that's about enough now. Did she die here?
She did die here. She wanted her ashes scattered on the dunes. Well, her family didn't want that. She's buried in Gary in Oak Hill Cemetery.
Against her wishes.
Against her wishes. And so the ghost story, is always kind of amplified, but Alice was this stark defender of the dunes, and that part of her story isn't often told, and so she used her voice to advocate to protect the dunes. And so 1925, the same year that Alice died, the Indiana Dunes State Park was established, and this is the first, significant hunk of the dunes that's now protected. Well, the Diana of the Dunes Dare, it starts right here at the trailhead for the Dune Succession Trail.
Okay.
And so this trail, it's just about a mile long. It's gonna take you up and on top of Diana's Dune.
Before we make our way, how many steps?
It's about 175 up.
Do you want to start first?
Sure.
Watch this. There he goes. He's good at it. Bye, Ranger Joe. This sand in the Indiana Dunes is unique. And if you listen hard enough, the sand itself will tell you why. Do you ever get this feeling like somebody is just staring right at you? It's just weird. Just have a feeling. When I'm in Milwaukee, facing east, there's the lake. What's going on? And until 3 weeks ago, it was our newest national parks. Now some place in West Virginia is calling themselves the newest national park. It's okay.
We were so close. That's Bob and Kevin, and they are about to climb up Diana Dune. And look how gear they're carrying. Okay. All I gotta say is, yeah, we're not climbing up that. We're gonna stay down here and do our interview here. There you go. Thanks, guys.
Quit following me! Next time on John McGivern's Main Streets. How are you, Buffalo Bill?
This is the Buffalo Bill Museum. Who'd you think was going to be greeting you at the door?
Lobster mac and cheese.
That's a bit of lobster.
Yeah, we don't mess around.
This is awesome. Where else in the world can you go walk a block and a half and hit a winery, a distillery, and a brewery?
People make this a destination to come to look. Yeah.
And from all over the world. We're in the mecca of junk.
I know I could parallel park this better than I could my pickup truck.
You know what's unique? It's singing sand. No, I said singing, because this is not just sand. It's quartz and silica. And if you walk on it just right, or if the wind blows just right, this sand sings. There's only 2 other places in the world where there is singing sand, Dubai and Japan. Yeah, so hold on 1 second. I hate that song. In the 1933 World's Fair, the theme was Century of Progress, and there was an exhibition at that fair called Homes of Tomorrow, which was going to give you an idea of what it was like to be living in the future. So there were 12 of those homes, and after the fair ended, 2 years later in 1934, 5 of those homes were shipped on a barge across the lake to this area in Indiana. 3 of those homes still stand on the hill. 2 of the homes are on the beach. This is what's known as the Florida home or the pink home.
Just probably the dumbest thing financially that I've ever done in my life.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, it probably was the most satisfying thing that I've ever done.
So 21 years ago, it was in not good shape.
Whoa, it was terrible shape.
And there was a call out to somebody who would take on the responsibility of a home like this?
It's a free house for anybody that wants to take it on. And my first wife, she said, oh, it'll be great, it'll be great. And I said, the place is a dump.
It needs some work.
Yeah, needs a lot of work. It would have been less expensive to bulldoze the thing down and then reconstruct it, but that was a no-no.
An incredible space for living outside.
I sit up here with a couple of cold ones, and oh, this is the place.
And just so you know, this is the most photographed home in the world. Okay, that's what he told us. Not sure if it's the truth, but I'm going to presume it is. So in 1933, this was built as the Wiebold Rawstone home.
Right. They touted this house as an affordable house. They lied.
They were lying?
Yeah, the average house was $1,500.
Okay.
Back in the day. This house cost $15,000 to build.
So Rawstone was
It's a synthetic precast stone invented in 1932. Was touted as more durable than natural stone. They lied.
They lied.
They lied. They stopped making it in the 60s.
And Wiebold was the...
Wiebold was a department store. Wiebold's went along because Wiebold's, for advertising purposes, wanted to furnish the house. So the historic name is the Wiebold Rawstone House.
Size-wise, what do we have in there? How big is that house?
7,000 square feet,
7,000?
22 rooms.
So who do you live here with?
Me, my 2 dogs.
Is it big enough for you? Is it too much?
It's a little small, but
Is
you
it?
know.
I've lived here for 32 years, and I've been coming for about 45 years.
Oh, really? You came as a visitor, as a tourist?
I did. As a tourist, I came, and I loved it, and I liked the proximity to the South Shore. I used to work in Chicago, and so we wanted to be close enough to the train that I could walk to the train if I needed to.
Advantages of living in a community like this compared to what you lived in Chicago?
You look up and you see the stars at night, and you hear the birds in the morning, and you know, look at the bats and everything else. We raised our kids here, and they liked it, and you're like, yep, this is worth it. Definitely.
Do you feel lucky?
I do. I feel very lucky.
Yeah. So there's a house for sale across the street from
you. It is, and you would look good in it.
Thank you, Jeff. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. No, I'm not losing it. The reason I am quoting Wizard of Oz is because Chesterton, Indiana has had a festival celebrating all things Dorothy and all things Wizard of Oz. And cameraman Jason, do you know why?
I do not. I would rely on you for those fun facts.
Okay, the reason is it has to do with one collector of everything Wizard of Oz, but we don't have to get into that. All I have to say is follow the yellow brick road. Every community owes a debt of gratitude to its veterans. We join the people of Northern Indiana honoring and remembering all of those who served. Have you ever been to that place? That place where there's always something new to see? Where there's always something new to learn? That place with so much beauty that it fills you up with joy. That place that speaks to your mind and your heart, where inspiration feeds your soul, and where the wonder of the natural world is always growing. Ryman Gardens at Iowa State University. This is that place. John McGivern's Main Streets would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors, for believing in our mission and committing to supporting our upper Midwest communities. Thank you so much, sponsors. It's time to find out the good news in Chesterton. My name's John.
Oh, Jen Fisher, nice to meet you.
You know there's more, loads more at mainstreets.tv, because you know what they say, more is always better, right?
Nice to meet you, John.
The good news. Find me on social media or go to our website. This is gonna be fun. I felt so welcome in this town, you know why? Take a look. Main Street. I think they put that up just for us. Take a look at this Main Street. Flannery's Pub, an ice cream shop, a barber shop, another pub, and a diner. What else does a small town in America need? Chesterton.
About 80% of the food that you eat every day is most likely processed on an Urschel machine.
And you know all about it?
I have done every job here. Started here when I was, don't tell the Board of Labor, I started here when I was 6 years old sweeping floors. Yeah, and so I've done all the jobs on the shop floor, and a lot of the parts that you'll see on these machines I've actually made myself.
Because your name is the name that's on the building.
Yeah, we have an extremely niche market. We take big things and we make them smaller by cutting them into little tiny pieces, and that's all that we do, and that's all that we've done for 110 years.
This is something I could use. I'm not sure that, I live in a condo in downtown Milwaukee.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm not so sure that I have a plug for this. Do you have an adapter?
Oh yeah, we sell an adapter. You can plug it right into your wall. It spins very slow though. The DiversaCut is actually our #2 selling machine.
It's a perfect cube, isn't it?
Perfect cube.
And #1 is what?
Our CC, which stands for chip cutter. We've been making that machine since 1958. And every potato chip you have ever eaten in your entire life has been cut on a CC.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because it looks like you eat a lot of potato chips, John. This isn't mashed or mushed. It's actually cut into microscopic particles, and then it flows free just like a paste. I'll let you know when you can dump.
Okay.
All right, so just...
You can tell by the sound that it's ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, here we go. Shut up! What? That's amazing.
Would like
a little salt and onion, it will be good.
From this vantage point, you could see the entire machine shop floor.
So anybody I run into on the floor here is an owner?
Absolutely correct. So we're 100% ESOP, employee stock ownership plan, so they're all owners. So most people that start here, when they get a job here, they're going to retire from here.
That's called the good old days right there.
Absolutely the good old days here, yeah.
Indiana Dunes, the main streets of this area speak to me. The Indiana Dunes. Oh.
It's okay.
This is Richard Riley, Anne Marie Riley. We're at the Riley. Where are we? Are we going? I don't know.
Waiting for her now.
I'm not either. Was that so stupid? Manufacturers of steel in the. You can cut there. Okay.
Perfect.